To dive deeper into this and a whole bunch more things concerning the Russian hoax and the Biden administration is the president of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. Tom, welcome to the program. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
All right. So much to get to with you. First, let's talk a little bit about the Russian hoax and the sentence that this Klein-Smith lawyer, who freely admits he lied. That's what it is. He lied. He forged. He faked an email, sent wrong information to the court, gets a slap on the wrist, gets probation. How does that happen?
Well, it's the double standard of justice here in Washington, D.C. Anything having to do with the targeting of President Trump, you get almost a quite literally a get out of jail free card in this circumstance. He should have served at least 6 months, but the court in this case, it happens to run, Judge Boasberg, he happens to be head of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. So he's unwilling to push or hold accountable FBI officials who would lie and subvert the rule of law there. You know, on the other hand, now it's official. There was a crime committed in the targeting of the Trump team. There was a crime committed by the Obama FBI in the targeting of the Trump team. And the outrage is that Durham couldn't even get this crime that was handed to him on silver platter by the IG. Remember, this was exposed by the IG at the end of 2019. He said, well, we're told, well, he was pleading guilty. Well, it turns out he's not really pleading guilty. And the court kind of took him at his word that he didn't really mean to do anything terrible. This is just awful in terms of the rule of law. And I tell you, we can expect more abuses like this because it seems that everyone who is involved in the scandal is going to get away with it, more or less.
Yeah, and I just can't, Tom, after 27 years of doing just local news, real news, where we didn't push a narrative and agenda like major networks do, let's be real, I can't believe that real journalists won't even cover this. I mean, this started coming out, it's been out there for years, but just in the last several weeks now, with the files being dumped, and I know you combed over them, there's more damning information that proves this was all a setup, and that it was the DOJ, the FBI, the Obama administration, the Hillary Clinton campaign, all working together. Then you had some of these really bad actors like Peter Zork, and then this attorney who lied and covered stuff up, and they won't even touch it. They won't even say President Trump was set up. The Russian collusion was fake. I can't believe they won't do that when the evidence is right there.
Well, because they're political advocates. I mean, you call them, they're not journalists in
activists,
the traditional sense
point.
of the word. They're activists. Sometimes they do commit journalism, that's true. But more or less, they're out there pushing advocacy. Now, the president of their choice is in office, President Biden. He's implicated in Obamagate. Susan Rice is implicated in Obamagate. You have other officials that Trump is inserting into other agencies implicated in Obamagate. They're not going to highlight the crimes of which President Trump was a victim. Indeed, heck, they're going through an impeachment trial next week. Why would they bring up that inconvenient fact that they rejected the 2016 election and tried to overturn it through coup activity, seditious behavior, and a sham impeachment just a year ago?
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up Susan Rice and those others, because Biden continues to put these Obamagate, I love how you're putting it, officials into his administration and in high positions of power. And there's several of them, right, that he's now put in.
Yeah, I can think of at least 4 or 5. And of course, President Biden should have been questioned about it. He was part of the unmasking scandals as well. His office asked for the unmasking of Flynn. Susan Rice, she was at the center of the storm with Obama and Biden and the targeting of Flynn and Trump with Comey. You have Donilon, his chief of staff, Obama's chief of staff, getting a promotion in the Biden administration. Samantha Power, she's going to be still gets a promotion. Victoria Nuland over at the State Department involved in this. She's getting a promotion. And John Durham. What's John Durham doing? What's he been doing?
Yeah, Tom, I got to ask you this: how in the hell do we make these people pay? That's what a lot of folks out there are asking, right? Do we have to wait 2 years to see if Republicans can take back the House, and then a couple more years take back the Senate, and then try and prosecute these people? Do we have to sit here and grin and bear it and watch these bad actors who've committed crimes against the Trump administration and the president himself, and the American people, as far as I'm concerned, treasonous acts? We just got to sit here and take it, right? Until we can hopefully elect leaders that have the guts and the you-know-whats to take them to task in 22, 24?
Well, now that we're impeaching former presidents, maybe we can impeach Obama. But certainly Durham's not going to do much.
Wow. Okay, I got to ask you this question because I think I'm going to ask about every guest today, this one. So how about that the Biden administration now and this press secretary, unlike how previous press secretaries and the president were treated under the Trump administration, where reporters in that press briefing room would fire the nastiest questions, be disrespectful, just downright damn rude. Now, Miss Jen Psaki and President Biden want you nice media folks to turn your questions in ahead of time so they can prepare to answer them and obviously pick and choose who they want. That sounds like freedom of press to me and a very transparent presidency.
Well, that's turning the media into the arm of the government. And the media, of course, is happy to be the arm of the government if the government's controlled by their political allies. So I'm sure Psaki will be accommodated by your legacy media colleagues there who spent, as you point out, years arguing with the Trump administration rather than covering it. And now they're not even covering the Biden administration. They're promoting it and asking it to do more in terms of pressuring it to be even more aggressive in advocating for left-wing policies. The media is obviously the media isn't trusted by the American people, but we should understand that the corruption involved with the media is because of its links with the government, and the media needs to be more forthright about that because right now they're tools of the Biden administration as opposed to independent entities.
Let's talk about these big tech oligarchs in Section 230. I know you've been very, very vocal about all of that, and we appreciate the hard work that you and your team at Judicial Watch are doing. I just don't see where we go from here. I mean, yes, if other platforms are created, well, then that's just an echo chamber. But if you can't get your messaging out on the major 3 platforms now because anything you put out there when you're a conservative is hate speech, what do people do? Where do we turn? How do we fight this?
Well, that's the challenge. I think they're engaged in business fraud when they're saying they're censoring material for one reason, when in fact they're doing it for another reason, a political, spurious reasons. And so they're not only lying to the consumers, but they're lying to shareholders, and the Securities Exchange Commission and the Federal Trade Commission should be investigating these big entities. We should be everywhere. I think we should be on the big platforms, and we should be on the alternative platforms. Judicial Watch, I know I've been locked out of Twitter for now almost a month after tweeting something that Twitter specifically had said was okay. And now I'm completely locked out. And I fear Judicial Watch, well, we already know Judicial Watch has been censored and will face more censorship. It may come to just being able to communicate with your supporters through the mail. I mean, that's where they want to go. Look, Dan, they want to take OANN down.
Yes.
They want to take Max down.
We know.
They want to take Fox down. They don't believe in deplatforming. They want to completely silence us beyond deplatforming.
Well, I can tell you, knowing my bosses here, the Herring Broadcasting Network, that's not going to happen without one hell of a fight, and I'm not going down without a fight. Peaceful. I got to say that. I don't want anybody to say I incited anything, right, Tom? We have to watch our words. How do you, they're wrapping me up, but give me a new word. I need a new word when we talk about keeping the conservative movement going. We can't say fight on now, fight for our freedoms, fight for this, because if you use the word fight, they mean physical, right? That's what the left tries to say. You got another word we can use besides fight?
No, I don't, because the left doesn't care what the words are.
Yeah, they'll come up with a way to skew that, right?
Yeah. No matter what you say, they don't care. You're not dealing with sensible folks on the other side.
No.
They're out to get you.
So to hell with them, Tom. We're going to fight. How about that? Keep fighting.
That's right.
Tom Fitton, President Judicial Watch. God bless you for what you guys do over at Judicial Watch. Come back on the program anytime. Keep digging into stuff and exposing all the things that you do, especially now under this administration. I have a feeling you're going to be working overtime for the next 4 years.
That's right. Thank you.
You take care.